Welcome to this week's Third Party Thursday. My name is Brennan Cooper, and I'm the Chief Risk Officer here at Venminder. In this video, we're going to cover regulatory guidance on contract management, general tips on how best to standardize your approach to contracts, and 13 ideas to guide your contracts. Effective contract management isn't difficult, it just takes a lot of discipline. The FFIEC provides great guidance in their IT examination handbook regarding vendor contracting. You can use it as a checklist when entering a new vendor relationship or when renegotiating a contract with an existing vendor. But good contract management really is all about execution. An enterprise-wide discipline to diligent contract management will ensure maximum value from your outsourced relationship. We see thousands of vendor contracts come across our desk each year, so we thought we'd share a few of the best practices you won't find in the FFIEC handbook. Here are 13 good tips to get you started. First, ensure a complete copy of every third-party contract is stored safely and securely off-site in one single location with multiple user access. Second, use a reliable tool, not Outlook, to track auto-renewal and expiration dates. Third, even if one person in your organization ultimately owns the vendor relationship or contract, make sure that more than one staff member receives auto-renewal notifications. Next, pull out these evergreen contracts on a recurring basis. Take a quick look and just make sure there are no surprises lurking. Within your organization, clearly define contract signing authority in the internal processes required post-signature. Never let a contract auto-renew. This takes discipline, a lot of discipline. Nothing's broken, the vendor is performing, so it's easy to move on to more urgent matters. That can be a real mistake. Revisiting a contract isn't always about price. Although, at the very least, a moderate loyalty discount may be in order if you plan to give them more term. It's certainly your opportunity to address any performance issues, upgrade if warranted, have a compliance conversation with non-compliant vendors, check the contract against FFIEC guidance and correct any gaps, validate the risk versus the reward of the contract, and even do a market check to make sure that you have the right price and the right product. If you don't have SLAs in your contract, now's the time to fix that. SLAs are likely going to be your only recourse with a non-performing vendor. And don't forget, non-performance can be defined in many ways. What if your vendor is not financially healthy? That's likely to manifest itself in poor delivery. So while you won't likely get termination provisions for poor financial performance, you can get termination provisions for the failure to deliver. We can't stress how important SLAs are to your ability to exit a contract when you have the wrong vendor. Never enter a contract without legal review. And don't mistake a legal review for a compliance review. Your lawyers will protect your liability, but depending on their level of experience with regulatory compliance, they could miss issues that are going to make it difficult for you to meet your ongoing due diligence requirements. On the subject of compliance, have that conversation before you enter the contract and then memorialize it in the contract. We see way too many occasions where the vendor refuses to comply, saying things like, "We don't release our financials to clients," and then you're stuck with unnecessary and unknown risk for the next several months or years until the next renewal date. Clearly understand the inherent risk of the vendor and address that in the contract. For example, if it's going to be disastrous to your organization if that vendor's hacked, then define the information security expectations clearly, as well as notification and remediation requirements. One more point on the subject of compliance. If your vendor won't comply, replace them. Compliance isn't optional for you, and it should never be optional for them either. So there you have it, 13 general tips to help your approach to contracts and the management of those contracts. Again, I'm Brennan Cooper, and thank you for watching. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the Third Party Thursday series.